Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, I'm dealing with some shoulder issues and that's going to affect my plans to do some work on my own house. So I'm going to put that off for a little bit, but keeping in the spirit of the channel, we don't stop. We have to figure out ways around and workarounds and how to keep going. So I'm going to work on some smaller videos that'll show you some tips and tricks and do some more manageable things that I can handle doing one-handed while I'm going through physical therapy, and hopefully I can get back and up and around and we'll get back to the bigger projects. So today I'm going to do a little trick on how to do accurate measurements on an inside dimension. So say you were putting up shelves in a cabinet or between two walls and you want to get a good fit, but you're trying to get an accurate measurement for that. So I'm going to show you a little trick for that. Let's get to it. So this is just a sample setup that would be, say, an inside of a cabinet to an inside of the cabinet box. Say we want to put a shelf in here. This is our shelf. Typical 3/4 inch melamine. Now, if this were open, you could place this here, butt it into the end, and then put a pencil mark here. And that's fine, except a lot of times you can't get to that because there's a cabinet face on here. So the next option would be to try to use a tape measure. The problem with the tape measure is not only is the hook not the most accurate when you're getting into cabinet work, but as you round this out at the end, it's hard to get it into the corner and get a really accurate measurement. I've seen people do this and add the thickness of the tape. If you're framing, if you're doing rough carpentry or concrete, that's fine. If we're getting into cabinets, don't do that. You really want to get this and get an accurate number for your shelf. So what I like to do is pinch sticks. So these could be really any size. These are just ones that I happen to have on hand. It's about 1.25 inches by 1/2 inch. And I've put this taper on the end and tried to get a good square end on each one of them. But the taper lets me have a smaller contact point so that it's easier to get it up against something and know that I'm not crooked. And it makes it easier to get them out after the fact. So what we do is you cut the length of this, needs to be at least about 3/4 of this distance, but shorter than the overall distance. But the length doesn't really matter other than that. Take two of them. You put one, push it up against one edge, push one up against the other edge, and then I use spring clamps. You could use quick grips, but if you place that clamp on there, two will make sure they don't migrate on you. It's hard to put on here in there. So now that's fitting snug. It doesn't move around. It's touching both ends. And now I know that's the exact length that I need. So if I take my shelf that would go in like this, and then I have one good edge cut. Now I can set my pinch sticks up on there, take my pencil, and mark this end. And that gives me my inside measurement. Now remember, if these shelves are going to be adjustable shelves, if you're building the cabinets, you can cut it the exact length. But if your shelves are going to be adjustable and you want to be able to take the shelf in and out, where you have to lift it up, it has to be a little bit shorter so that it'll fit in there. Because when you go in, you're going in on a diagonal. And when you do this, your measurement needs to be from the top corner to the bottom corner over here in order for it to clear. So when it falls into place, it's going to be a little bit short. So as you can see, I cut this to length. And it fits in there very snugly, which we like. That's okay if you're building the cabinets and putting the sides on after the fact. But this won't come out. It doesn't lift up, because if I take this shelf and try to set it in, if you were making adjustable shelves where you wanted to be able to move them up and down, now as you set this in, it won't, it's hitting down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Let's do it the other way. But you can see that as it goes in here, it's touching at the top and it's touching at the bottom. We have a gap here and we know it's the right length, but it won't go in. That's because your dimension has to go from the top up here to the bottom over here. So if we take our pinch sticks, set it down on there, and it is not much. It barely made a mark on there, but that's all it takes. So what we have to do is trim this down just a little bit, and that'll allow it to drop in. So now I've trimmed the end off just a little bit. Now, if we put it in here, you can drop it down, but you can see there's a little bit of play in it. But if you're going to have adjustable shelves, then this is necessary. Okay, I hope that was helpful. As always, please like and subscribe. Put some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you'd like to see. And I hope you can join us next time. Thanks.